recession in 7 years. Can you believe it? That's the Dow Jones down at 17,776, the S&P 500 2,053, and the Nasdaq 4,727. Asian equity markets opened lower this morning as investors weighed volatile commodity markets and news of Japan's rating downgrade. The Nikkei down 17,581, the Hang Seng 23,328, and we've also got the Kospi at 1,955. And finally, here's your commodities. Gold's trading at $1,204.50 an ounce. Platinum is $1,229.40 an ounce. And Brent crude, look at that, $71.90 a barrel. That is unbelievable. All right, those are your market indicators. Now let's stick to the market really did respond positively. Now, the African Business and Professional Alliance, this is a newly formed professional organization with their spokesperson, Lesego Sennelo. She's here, she's in studio, and she's going to be talking about, I suppose, the reaction to the new Reserve Bank governor and exactly what the organization actually does. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Leanne. Good to be here.
All right, so let's talk about this ABPA, African Business Professional Alliance. What is it?
Well, ABPA is a newly formed organization that is made up of 6 professional bodies. We've come together, in essence, under a common goal of celebrating excellence and achievement. And it's a non-racial organization, but our main objective is to promote our commitment to professional excellence as well as putting forward the transformation agenda.
Right. So that's, in a nutshell, what all organizations coming together are doing.
Yes, and those 6 organizations are...
They still are working independently.
Yes, but we've come together, you know, under this common goal, as I've mentioned.
Yeah. Why are you coming together under this common goal?
I think it's time for collaborative effort. I think the past 20 years of democracy have been about, you know, solidifying that entrance into the economic space from a black perspective. It's also about professionals, you know, embedding their space in terms of, you know, how do we then add value and how do we have those opportunities and maximize on them. And so it's been a lot of activities in various spaces. And we said, you know, in this instance, it makes sense to come together, have one voice around this common goal, but also to say, how do we then unlock common efficiencies and how do we then have synergies in terms of moving the transformation agenda forward?
Your views on the transformation? Do you think it's good enough, or clearly from forming an organization like this, in your right? Or
well, I think we've made strides. We have to be fair in having a balanced view. We've made strides. We've seen the outliers come through. You have the likes of Patrice Motsepe and the like. You know, even within the professional sector, we've seen our fellow professionals make it to the, you know, the apex of their professions. But I think we still have a long way to go. If you take into account, you know, the demographics of our country and what that translates to in terms of business, we still have a long way to go. Having recognized that we've made strides, you know, then how do we regroup and make sure that going forward we address, you know, the challenges that face us ahead?
Okay, let's talk about our Reserve Bank governor, because that's really the focus here. He was brought in last month. I think he started the middle of last month. What was business's reaction, particularly the 6 organizations together, and so far, how do you think he's been performing?
You know, I think our governor was well received. In the industry, I mean, he started in the banking sector as an accounts clerk. For me, he's a true epitome of what it means to get your teeth in there and really work your way up all the way to the highest position in terms of the banking or finance sector. We'll see with the reaction on the day that the announcement was made, the markets were fairly stable. So the reception, in my opinion, has been very good. And he's already had his first monetary policy announcement. And I think we're all grateful to have received the news that the interest rates would remain stable, considering the very challenges that we faced as a country and as an economy.
Yeah, so generally a positive reaction towards him. What about our finance minister? Because, I mean, obviously that's a focus of you as well, and the work that you're doing.
Minister Nene is also doing well. I mean, he has been in that space for the longest of time. I think for us, it shows you that black excellence is not a proxy, you know, for performance. It is actually that we have that talent, and how do we celebrate that talent? How do we heighten that talent? And I'm sure you'll agree that having seen where we are, that there's been that positive reception. It doesn't take away that the two gentlemen have a very difficult job at their hands.
Yeah.
And how do we then as professionals rally together to ensure that they have the adequate support in executing that role?
Yeah.
So that's part of the mandate in terms of the ABPA.
All right. So I know that there's a big dinner happening. It's for the Reserve Bank governor. What's happening? It's on Thursday night. Am I right?
Yes,
okay.
We're having a congratulatory dinner in the honor of the governor on Thursday evening. It will be held at the Centre Convention Center. It is a closed event.
Yeah.
But in essence, we're saying, we recognize the significant milestone in your career. We recognize the challenges that it comes with, but, let's take a pause and a step back and really celebrate. And, it's hard work, it's dedication, it's determination, it's resilience. We know that it's challenging to get to those levels. And having been there, how do we then rally and give you the support to ensure that there's great success for all of us, in essence, as a country?
Excellent. Well, I'm sure this is not the last time we're going to be hearing about the organization and the work that you're doing. But thank you for coming in. Thanks for introducing us to the African Business and Professional Alliance. They're hosting a dinner for our new Reserve Bank governor, Mr. Lesego, and of course this is for his appointment, and just going forward, just as you say, a role model and somebody that has done exceptionally well in his professional career, joining the public service back in 1996. In fact, he actually began at the Treasury before his promotion to the position of Director General in 2004. Thank you. Thanks for joining us here on the program, Lesego Sennelo, who is the spokesperson for the organization.
Thanks, Leanne. Thanks for having me.
Well, as I said to you, Valen not in this morning, so... All right, now the cream of South African sport was awarded on Sunday at the annual South African Sports Awards, this year hosted at the Centre Convention Center. The biggest winner of the night was Portia Modise, who won South African Sports Star of the Year, the only category where the winner is voted for by the public. She and Minister of Sport, Fikile Mbalula, are going to be joining us in studio, and that'll be happening hopefully in the next hour here on Morning Live. So we look forward to having that conversation with them, and it was a very, very big night for them. So, and what a proud moment for Portia to walk away with something like that, and really, really putting women's football on the map. And that was the public speaking, so really exciting. So that's what to expect in the next hour here on Morning Live, so stay tuned for it. But in other news, in other sporting news, long-term planning for the new SAFA leadership has brought instant results sooner than expected. 2014